Alright boys, so honestly I wasn't gonna make a video covering the new buffs for Siegfried and Sherlock, but they actually make both of these servants absolutely broken. Like, Siegfried himself is legitimately one of the best AoE Buster Sabers, or just best AoE Sabers in the game at this point. I mean, look at how far this guy has jumped pre-damage mod. If he has a special damage mod, it's just a wrap, dude. Like, 66k is higher than even like Artorias. I get it. Siegfried, because of his like third skill, is kind of a one pump chump, right? Because he only has the 50% buster buff for one turn, right? But this definitely helps him out a lot. And you guys know that I'm always clamoring about the 30% battery on Buster Servants. Now, why is that 30% battery so important? It's because of this right here. Every servant, at least so far, on their second append skill gets a 20% battery, meaning if they have at least a 30% battery, not only are they now compatible with 50% starting charge CEs, of which there are many broken 50% starting charge CEs that involve Buster Servants, like the Martha CE, the Christmas Ishtar one, just to name two of them, right, that are really, really broken. There's other broken ones, obviously, like there's the Like a Lady one that I always mention, but that doesn't really do anything for Siegfried. I mean, he has a lot of NP game buffs, so I guess you could try to do some big meme with that, because I guess NP gives him this buff and, you know, he gets this right here. But, like, more importantly, it makes him more compatible with Koyenskaya, right? And Koyenskaya is obviously like kind of the new meta. Castoria is kind of snapping back into the meta. It's kind of like Castoria was meta, and then Koyenskaya came out, then Oberon came out, and people were like, oh my goodness, this is like the Buster meta. And then, my bad, Castoria is kind of snapping back. But still, the Koyenskaya meta is still very, very strong. Buster farming is definitely very, very appealing to a lot of people, because you don't have to worry about looping. You just have to worry about the damage, right? Like, do you do enough damage to obliterate the opponent, right? And the thing with Sumanai over here is that not only is his NP1 damage good, but a lot of people have this guy at higher copies because he's literally been out since the jump, and he's like in every single banner. So it's not uncommon to see people with like NP2, 3, 4, 5 Siegfried over here, where he can actually do really, really good damage, and it's making this guy a really, really valid option. And this pretty much just pushed him into the Koyenskaya meta as a valid option. And then this right here literally just made him, like, his damage is acceptable, right? Like, it used to be, oh yeah, we use Sumanai against dragons, and as long as we're fighting a dragon opponent, we do enough damage. This is only really good for one turn, but this made him a little bit more stable. And Siegfried is unironically really good, right? Like, it's the whole reason I'm actually deciding that I wanted to make this video. He is unironically really, really solid, which I like, because ever since I read the Fate Apocrypha novel, I've absolutely loved Siegfried. This guy is an absolute Giga Chad, but dude, now he's just broken in game. I never thought we would see the day, by the way, that Siegfried is now like dummy broken, right? Like, I never thought we would see this day, but it's happening. But here's the thing as well. Sherlock got a 50% battery, a 50% battery. You hear that right, folks? Compatible with any 50% starting charge CE, or just easy NP spam if you want to just get to this godly NP way easier. In which I've been saying, anytime I try to defend Sherlock, I'm like, look at his NP. At bare minimum, it is reducing all enemies' defense by 30% for 3 turns, giving the party Pierce Invil for 3 turns, ignore defense for 3 turns, and 50% crit damage for 3 turns. Basically meaning, whoever you're fighting is about to get slammed into the pavement, right? Because they can't use a dodge, they can't use invincibility, they can't stack defense, they're going to get crit into oblivion, and their defense is getting neutered at bare minimum. If you're NP5, it's kiss yourself goodnight, because you're about to get obliterated, dude. This means it is infinitely easier to get to his NP over here. And like, dude, all Sherlock is waiting for is if he can just get like, and this is just my own like super sauce, wet dream, just absolute giga copium for Sherlock. But if they could just give him like drops 20 stars every time he fires his NP, or at best drops 30 stars when he fires his NP, this is like an insane unit in the game. Like, he becomes like one of the best servants, because this is already really good because it lets him burst stars. This is really good because if you time this with his crit star absorption, right, you can literally like loop massive amounts of his NP, because his NP gain is already decent. You buff his Arts performance by 50%, which buffs his NP gain of the Arts cards. Draw the stars to those Arts cards, crit, buff it even higher. You can already spam his NP. This makes it easier, right? But if we make his NP just a little more rewarding, because the one thing that Sherlock struggles with is genning stars. Even with the double quick cards over here, he struggles a little bit with providing stars for the entire team. If we can make him just that little bit of a better star gen, kind of like what they do with Jalter, right? Where Jalter drops 30 stars every time she fires her NP. If we can do that with Sherlock, this guy becomes absolutely disgusting. This is a servant that you need to keep your eyes on, because if they do just any minor buff with this guy, either drop stars on NP, or he gets a buff to maybe his third skill, right? Maybe his third skill gives him a buff where he drops like 10 to 15 stars every turn for 3 turns. He becomes nasty broken, right? And I'm surprised that I didn't cover this, because I saw that Sherlock and Siegfried got buffs, but I was like, oh, we're probably going to get like Oku and the Seraph event, and oh, look at this, we have a new Grail front coming out to the JP version, and I cannot believe that these two insane buffs passed me by. So I don't know, guys, like, let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I literally think that not only is Sumanai over here absolutely redeemed, he is one of the best AoE sabers in the game. I mean, look at this dude. He's absolutely insane, and God forbid you're fighting a dragon, right? And you have this guy at higher NP copies, which you might actually have him at, right? And then this guy just secretly slowly becoming one of the best support type servants in the game. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you leave that like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for that daily FGO content. I do stream every single weekday over on my Twitch, which is in the description down below. I also usually stream on Saturdays. Usually Saturdays is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament day. So if you're interested in that, you know, come out to those streams. Also, if you want to participate in them, you can come to the Discord, which is also in the description, and you can, you know, sign up. It's usually in the announcement tab, like whatever tournament we're going to be running. But yeah, with all that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.